If you are a single woman raising boys, what are some things you should consider as you raise them from boys to men? Richard Smith shares his thoughts on this after the intro. I really want to ask this from the kind of standpoint of, we have, as you know, in this society, a lot of single ladies that are trying to raise boys.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's one thing to come at it from the perspective of a man who has a wife and has a fully intentional, fully, you've thought it out, your vision for how you wanted to have your boys be raised. Do you have any thoughts about, okay, the single ladies, the single women who are out here who may have one boy, two boys, three boys, and the kinds of things they need to be thinking about as they try to raise their boys to men?
Mm-hmm. I got two clear thoughts on it. One is, a personal one is that, my basically when I grew up, my father died when I was 2 years old. My mother never remarried, and and she was a single parent. And I remember growing up as a boy, she would often tell me, she says, "I'm raising you to be the head of your family as Christ is the head of the church." This is something my mother would say to me quite often. I didn't really understand the impact of it until I got older, but that is kind of what was put into my head. And she said that I, as a woman, really can't teach you how to be a man, but I can put you around men I respect. And I remember the day that I came home and told my mother that I was going to pledge Alpha Phi Alpha. My mother is the first person in our family to graduate from Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University with a 4-year nursing degree. And she said that the men on campus that were about things, doing things, involved and engaged were alpha men. And she was proud of the decision that I had made. And she put me around when I was a young boy in 6th grade. As you know, Frank, I went to Bowles in Jacksonville, put me around men that she respected, that she felt that could teach me things about being a man. And then lastly, her personal language around men was different. She did not feel, let me be clear, she did not express openly to me that she felt that men were not good. She expressed to me that she thought men were good, that she felt that, I had been around young women who would come around the house and visit my sisters, and they would say, "All men are dogs." And my mother would say, "All men are dogs. All men are not dogs." So she was very clear in providing a personal perspective and saying men are good, men are valued. And she made a distinction. Men are good, men are valued. Boys, different discussion. So as I think about women who may be in a situation where they married their son's father, they're no longer married, or they didn't marry, what have you, and they're wondering how is it, I think that the conversation that they have about men is important, that they have around their sons. I think that whom they choose to place their sons around is important. And I think it should be intentional. I don't think being a man is something that happens by accident. It happens by intention. It happens as the result of conscious thought. And those are the things, I remember my next door neighbor, Mama Nora, who used to keep me as a small boy. I was in elementary school, and my mother was teaching me how to cook, how to clean, and how to sew. And my mother, she says, she said, Nora said to my mom, she said, "Mildred, you are turning, this boy into, she used a homosexual, kind of slur. And she said, no, she says, he will marry a woman he wants, not because he needs.
Mm-hmm.
Want, not need. So she was very, I mean, from a very early age about being very conscious about what she heard, what she said, and what I heard about being a man,
Mm-hmm.
and having a healthy relationship with women.
Mm-hmm. So while you've been speaking, because I
Mm-hmm.
think you did provide me with some key points from what you said. And so what I want to do is see if I can, and this will be a first. You guys see me growing as I'm going. I'm trying new
Mm-hmm.
things here. Let's see here. Let's do it. Let's see. I got some slides. Can you guys see that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
So what I took away just now was a couple of key takeaways that maybe single women should be thinking about doing is one, take your boys around men that you admire. And then two, reinforce that men are valuable. I think those are 2 points. Did you want to add anything to those, or do those kind of sum up your thoughts on that particular matter?
I do, and I would say the third one is how the woman personally speaks about men,
Mm-hmm.
in a fashion that says it's a person that says, you know what, I like men. I think men are valuable. I think they serve a role in the home as women serve a role in the home. And it doesn't have to be these stereotypical male female roles of cook, clean, and that's it doesn't have to be that, but there is a productive, mutually beneficial relationship
Mm-hmm.
that men and women have and should have together. So I think it's speak, reinforce, take them around. And I will tell you this is that my mother would not allow me to be around any man she did not know.
Mm-hmm.
Zero. It's like, she would say, look, you can't go in this house, you can't go in that house, you can't do this. This is someone that you can't. And she was very clear about it. And as a kid, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do what my mom says. I didn't really think that deeply about it as an 8-year-old. I mean, how deeply can I think is at 8? But as I got older, I was like, wow, she was really on it. The sad thing is, my mother passed away in 2007, and I wish I could tell her face to face, the impact that she's had on me, and the things that she did for me that really helped me become a man and helped me really figure it out. Because it's a quest that I've been on and a quest that I continue to be on. I mean, even now, today I took my oldest son to baseball practice, and I am not one of the assigned coaches, but I am there and I am present. And I'm watching the other dads and how they're talking to their sons and making it very clear. This is how you interact with my son. These are the things I'm teaching my son. It's very, and it's not something I come out and say. You can just see it in the way that I act and react in my countenance and being around. I mean, my wife even knows, she says, the men react differently when you're around.